He woke to a hand on his chest, cold, firm, terrifying. The room smelled of candle wax and perfume, not his. He froze, heart hammering. The master's wife standing above him. Her eyes gleamed. A smile, thin, dangerous. "Sleep well?" she whispered. He tried to speak. Nothing came. Throat dry, words swallowed by fear. The bed creaked under her weight. She moved closer. Every instinct screamed to run, but he couldn't, not yet. She leaned in. "Tonight changes everything," she said. Her fingers traced the lines of his shirt, cold, deliberate. Memories of the plantation flooded him, the fields, the lash, the whispers. Always obey, always silent, always invisible. But this was different. Her presence wasn't punishment. It was an invitation, a trap. He swallowed, hard, mind racing, heart louder than the wind outside. What did she want? Why him? Her smile widened. "Come with me," she whispered. And just like that, the room shifted. The candlelight flickered, shadows danced. Every corner of the room seemed to watch. He wanted to resist, but the fear and something else, curiosity, it tangled inside him like fire and ice. Footsteps approached, from the hallway. The master? No, just the creak of the old floorboards. Alone, for now. She held out her hand. He hesitated. One step forward, a lifetime of secrets waiting behind that hand. The night was silent, too silent. Every sound outside, wind, hooves, distant cries, felt like warning. He took her hand, and the first thread of their dangerous story began to weave. A choice, one night that could change everything. And he didn't know if he would survive it. She didn't speak again. Not yet. Her eyes held a secret, a dangerous one. He followed her silently, through the dark corridors of the plantation house. Every step echoed. Every shadow seemed alive. She stopped at a small door, a door he had never noticed before. "Inside," she commanded softly. He hesitated. Something told him this was no ordinary request. His mind screamed to run, but curiosity, or fear, kept him rooted. Inside, the room smelled of roses and candle wax, a single chair in the corner, and her, waiting. "Sit," she said. Her voice calm, but ice ran beneath it. He obeyed, heart pounding, hands trembling. She circled him slowly, like a predator, like she owned not just the room, but the night. "Do you know why I am here?" she asked. He shook his head. Words again failed him. She leaned close, so close he could feel her breath. "I need your help," she whispered. Confusion, fear, rage. How could a slave help the mistress of the house? What danger could this bring? "Help me," she repeated, "and everything will change for both of us." His stomach twisted. Was it a trap? Was it some cruel game? I don't understand," he stammered. Her smile widened. "Soon you will." She stepped back, pulled a small folded note from her dress, handed it to him. "Memorize this. No one can know," she said. Her eyes locked onto his, deadly serious. He unfolded the paper. The words, instructions, impossible, terrifying. A plan that could destroy lives if discovered. She watched him, waiting. Time slowed. The weight of what she asked pressed down on him like chains. "Do you accept?" she asked. His throat tightened. Every instinct screamed no. Every shadow outside the window whispered, "Yes." He nodded slowly. One choice, one dangerous step, and there was no turning back. She smiled, satisfied. "Good. Remember, one mistake, and it will cost us everything." The night outside was silent, but inside, a storm was building, a storm that could consume them both. If you're on the edge of your seat, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because next is coming, and it will get even darker. He couldn't sleep. The note burned in his pocket. Her eyes haunted his every thought. Every shadow in the room felt alive. Every creak of the floor sounded like a warning. He thought of the fields, the lash, the master's voice booming in his head. Always obedient, always silent, always watched. And now this, a secret that could ruin everything, or maybe save him. He touched the note again. The instructions whispered danger, yet the thrill, the power lingered. She had chosen him. Why? A slave, alone, invisible, and yet she trusted him, or tested him. Outside, the wind howled. Branches scraped the windows like claws. He imagined the master walking these halls. Would he notice if he disappeared for a moment? Fear battled temptation. Every instinct screamed to flee. Every heartbeat urged him to obey. He remembered her words, "One mistake, and it will cost everything." Everything. His life, her reputation, their secret. He couldn't stop thinking about her hand, cold, steady, dangerous. Her voice, smooth, commanding. Her smile, that twisted promise of chaos. Morning came too soon. Light spilled through the cracks, and with it, reality. The master would rise, the fields would demand him, the plantation would never forgive mistakes. But the note, he had to act, even if fear paralyzed him, even if the consequences were deadly. He rehearsed every word, every movement, every glance, every heartbeat was a countdown. And then, a knock. Sharp, sudden, a warning. He froze. Footsteps approached. Not hers, not his. The door creaked open. A shadow slipped inside. Was it the master, or someone worse? Panic surged. His hands shook. The note pressed against his chest like fire. He had chosen this path. There was no turning back. The shadow stepped closer, and he realized, this night, this secret, it wasn't just dangerous, it was deadly. The master was asleep, or so he hoped. Every shadow in the hallway felt like a threat. Her note burned in his pocket. Her plan, his risk. One wrong move, and death awaited. He crept through the dark corridors, each step measured, each breath shallow. The wooden floors groaned under him. Her hand on his shoulder. He remembered it, cold, demanding. It gave him courage, or madness. He reached the room she had marked, a small hidden door at the back. He pushed it slowly. It opened into a dim storage room. Inside, crates, barrels, shadows stretching like fingers. And there, the object she had instructed him to take. A key. Small, simple. But it held power, secrets, danger. His fingers brushed the cold metal, heart racing. Every noise outside a drumbeat of doom. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked. His blood froze. Was it the master, a guard, or the wind? He held his breath, moved like a shadow, the key pressed tight in his fist. Memories flashed, the lash, the fields, the chains. And now, the choice, obey or be destroyed. He took a deep breath, moved toward the second part of the plan. She had instructed him to place the key in a secret box, hidden, safe, unseen. every step a gamble, every second a threat. He reached the box, hands trembling. The key fit perfectly. Click. A small smile escaped him. Danger survived, for now. But he knew it wasn't over. The sound of footsteps again, closer, this time deliberate. Someone was coming. He ducked behind a crate, heart pounding like a drum of war. Every shadow a potential enemy, every breath could give him away. Minutes passed, or hours. Time had no meaning. Finally, silence. He exhaled. The first step complete, the first real test survived. But he knew the hardest part was yet to come. The master's wife had set a trap, and he was walking straight into it. If your pulse is racing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Next is coming, and the stakes are about to get even higher. Whispers. They started small, barely audible, but on the plantation, whispers grew teeth. He walked through the fields, sun burning his back, hands calloused from work, but his mind racing. Every glance from the other slaves felt sharp. Judgment, suspicion, fear, he couldn't tell. The master's wife watched from the porch, her eyes cold, calculating. He shivered. Did she see the key, the secret, his fear? A rumor began. Did you hear? Something's happening at the house last night. Shh, don't speak too loud. Fear gripped him. The walls had ears, every shadow a witness, every step a trap. He tried to act normal, worked in the fields, sweat poured down his face, but inside a storm raged. Some slaves avoided him, others stared too long, and the overseer, he lingered a moment too long, smirked, eyes narrow. He swallowed. The plan wasn't safe anymore, not if anyone discovered even a hint. That evening, he saw her again, the master's wife. "Are you ready?" she asked. No warmth, no apology, just business. "Yes," he said, his voice steady, heart hammering. She handed him another note, even more dangerous than the first, a task that could ruin them all. "Do this carefully," she whispered. "Every eye, every ear must never know." He nodded. Every instinct screamed to refuse, but refusal wasn't an option. Night came, dark as sin. He moved again, through corridors, through shadows, through fear itself. Each step a silent prayer, each breath a stolen chance at survival. The plantation slept, or so it seemed, but somewhere eyes were watching, and whispers could kill. He reached the second target of her plan, hands trembling, sweat cold on his back, and just as he completed the task, a sound, a whisper, a footstep. He froze, heart in his throat. Someone was there. Every choice now mattered. Every move could cost him his life. A shadow in the hallway. Too deliberate to be wind, too silent to be accident. He froze. The key, the notes, the secret tasks, all in his hands. One wrong move and it was over. The door creaked. A figure stepped inside. Not the master's wife, not the master. Someone else. The overseer. Eyes sharp, smile thin. He knew, or suspected. "You shouldn't be here," the overseer said, voice calm, but ice ran beneath it, like a blade cutting through the night. Heart racing, breath shallow, he swallowed fear like poison. I'm just checking," he stammered. The overseer's eyes narrowed. He stepped closer, every step deliberate, every shadow around them seemed to lean in. "You're hiding something," the overseer said. "No one moves in the master's house without reason." He clenched his fists. The notes burned in his pocket. The plan could fail. Everything could fail. The overseer circled him like a hawk before it strikes. "Speak," he commanded, "or I will make you." Every instinct screamed to run. Every instinct screamed to obey. But the weight of her trust, her plan, pressed him down. He said nothing. Breath caught, heart pounding like a drum of war. The overseer smiled, thin, dangerous. "Careful," he said. "Every secret has a way of revealing itself." And just like that, he left. The shadow disappeared. The hallway was silent again, but the warning lingered. Every step he took now felt heavier. Every corner, every whisper, every glance, a threat. He returned to his quarters, hands shaking, the key and the notes clutched tightly. The master's wife's plan still alive, but now so was danger. Fear gnawed at him. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't trust anyone. Outside, the plantation lay calm, the fields dark, the animals silent. But inside, the storm was building, the storm of suspicion, secrets, and lies. He knew one slip, one mistake, and the overseer would expose him. Her plan, his life, everything, hanging by a thread. And the night was far from over. If your heart is racing, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Next is coming. Betrayal is closer than he thinks, and it will change everything. Trust was a luxury he couldn't afford. Yet he had trusted someone, a friend, a fellow slave, someone he thought understood the danger. The whisper came first, soft, careful, but sharp enough to cut through his thoughts. "She's been seen with him," a voice said. Not a stranger, not the master. It was his friend, the one he confided in. Shock froze him, heart pounding. Betrayal, it tasted like iron. He confronted the friend, eyes wide with fear, hands shaking. "Why?" he demanded. The friend looked away, silent at first, then a confession. "I didn't mean, I thought, I had to." The words tumbled, clumsy, desperate, but the meaning was clear. The overseer knew. The master's wife's secret exposed. Panic surged. The room spun. Every plan, every careful step crumbling. He thought of the note, the tasks, the key, all meaningless if the overseer found out. The friend begged, "I didn't want to betray you, I swear." But betrayal had a price, and the master's house demanded it. He clenched his fists, anger, fear, desperation, a storm inside him. Outside, the wind howled, branches scratching the windows. The night felt alive, watching, judging. He knew what he had to do. Act fast, move faster, or everything would be lost. The overseer would come, the master would come, and death, or worse, awaited. He grabbed the note, memorized every line, every instruction, every risk. His friend looked at him, eyes pleading, but the line had been crossed, trust shattered. The master's wife would know. Would she forgive the mistake, or would it end them both? Every heartbeat now a countdown, every shadow now a threat, every breath now a gamble. He slipped into the night, through the halls, through the hidden corridors, every step silent, every movement precise. The betrayal burned hotter than fear. It fueled him, but also made him reckless. And somewhere, in the silence of the plantation, eyes were watching, waiting. The storm was coming, and he was in its center. The night was alive. Whispers of betrayal clung to every shadow. He had no choice. The plan had to move forward. No hesitation, no second chances. He crept through the dark halls. The notes burned in his pocket. Every instruction memorized, every step calculated. Outside, the wind howled. Branches scratched the windows. The plantation seemed to hold its breath. He reached the secret passage, the one the master's wife had shown him. A narrow, hidden corridor. Cold stone walls pressed close, air thick with dust and fear. He paused, listened. No footsteps, no whispers. For now, silence. Step by step, he moved deeper, heart hammering, mind racing, every shadow a potential threat. He reached the hidden door at the edge of the property. The key in his hand trembled. The lock, the final barrier. One mistake, and death. He turned the key slowly. Click. The door swung open. Freedom, or something worse, lay beyond. The night air hit him, cold, sharp, but alive. Danger still followed, every sound a warning. Behind him, shadows shifted. Someone had seen him. He couldn't look back, couldn't hesitate. He ran, feet pounding against the earth, heart racing like war drums. The plantation behind him, silent, watching. Branches tore at his clothes, thorns ripped his skin. Pain, but he barely noticed. The plan, the escape, depended on speed. Every second counted. Every breath could betray him. A cry rang out behind him. The overseer, guards, the master himself? He didn't stop, couldn't stop. The path wound through the woods, darkness hiding him or waiting to trap him. He stumbled, fell. Pain shot through his leg, but he rose again. Ahead, the river, the last barrier, the final chance. Water cold and unforgiving, but safer than the eyes behind him. He plunged in, the current pulling him, sweeping away fear or drawing him closer to death. Every stroke a gamble, every gasp of air a victory. And somewhere, the master's wife. She would know if he survived. She would know if the plan worked. She would know everything. If your heart is racing, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Next is coming. The confrontation with the master is inevitable, and nothing will ever be the same. The river spat him out, cold, merciless, but alive. The plantation lay behind him, dark, silent, waiting. He stumbled onto the bank, water dripping from his clothes, heart pounding, every nerve screaming danger, but he couldn't stop, not yet, not when the master's eyes could find him at any moment. Then he saw it, a figure on the opposite bank, tall, shadowed, the master. "You thought you could escape?" The voice boomed, cold, furious, every word a whip. He froze, no time to think, no time to hesitate. The master advanced, boots crunching against the earth, hands tight on a cane, power radiating with every step. He backed up, every shadow a hiding place, every tree a shield, but the master's eyes, they pierced the darkness. "Stop!" the master shouted. His voice echoed, shaking the night. He had the notes, the key, the secrets, the master's wife's plan. Everything depended on him now. He raised his hands, heart racing, adrenaline burning every vein. "Wait," he gasped. It's not what it looks like." The master laughed, harsh, cruel. "You think words will save you?" Behind him, a rustle, the master's wife, watching, waiting, silent, dangerous. The master's eyes flicked to her, confusion, anger, fear. He took the chance, moved fast, darted left, then right. Branches tore at him, mud clung to his legs, pain shot through every muscle. The master lunged, hand raised, cane ready, a blow meant to break him, but the river had given him strength. He twisted, dodged, ran. The master's wife stepped forward, Voice cold. Stop, or everything dies. The master hesitated, a flicker of doubt, and in that moment he slipped past, freedom within reach, but danger still breathed down his neck. Every step a battle, every breath a victory, every heartbeat a countdown. The confrontation was over, for now, but the night still held secrets, and one final choice awaited. The night held its breath. The river behind him, the plantation ahead, every step a decision. He ran, every muscle screaming, every shadow whispering danger. The master's wife appeared, silent, watching, her eyes unreadable, deadly. "You survived this far," she said, voice low, controlled, a smile, thin, dangerous. He clutched the notes, the key, everything that had haunted him, everything that could save or doom him. "You did what I asked," she continued, "and now the choice is yours." The master's voice thundered behind him, "You will pay." He turned, the master advancing, fury and power in every step. The plantation seemed to tremble, the air thick with tension. Every tree, every shadow, silent witnesses. He remembered the betrayals, the overseer, the friend, every whisper. He remembered the fear, the lash, the fields, and the nights of silence. And he chose courage. With a swift move, he struck. The master stumbled, surprised, power faltering. The master's wife stepped forward, hand outstretched. "You will be free if you survive this night." He didn't hesitate, ran past them, through the woods, every step fueled by desperation. Behind him, chaos, shouts, threats, footsteps pounding the earth. But he didn't stop, couldn't stop. The river came again, cold, harsh. He plunged in, swept away by the current. And then, silence. The night swallowed the plantation. The master's shouts faded, the wife's eyes gone. He emerged, breath ragged, body trembling, alive, free. The plantation behind him, a world of secrets and lies. The master, powerless, the wife, a mystery forever. He looked at the horizon, the first light of dawn, a new day, a new life, freedom finally within reach. And somewhere, far away, the echoes of that night would linger, a story of danger, betrayal, and courage. If you were on the edge of your seat, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this story and see how far one man's courage can take him.